first quarter. Suffocating at times.
Alex Caruso on the floor for Oklahoma City. Another one of the big pieces. Uh-oh.
Welcome back, everyone, to another Bring the Thunder podcast episode. And today we're going to be covering all of the All-Star Weekend events, just kind of going through each one, giving some predictions for how we think it'll go, kind of just diving into that. And then we're going to have a little segment for Shai's new shoe released towards the end, as well as the Slam magazine cover. But let's go ahead and start off with our All-Star events, starting with the Rising Stars game, which is tonight. So, Satvir, if you want to fill us in on some of that, what do you got?
Yeah, so tonight at 9 p.m., we have 4 different teams competing. Jeremy Lin will be featuring the G League team. We'll have team, I believe, let's see here. We have team Chris Mullen, Mitch Richmond, and Tim Hardaway. The team that we'll, of course, be watching for is with Kaysen Wallace. He's over here, I believe, with team Tim, so that'll be great to watch. Tim Hardaway's team for us. That starts at 9 p.m. tonight. And then I'll also cover the other events for this weekend. So we have the rest of the events start at 8 o'clock tomorrow or on Saturday, which is the Skills Challenge, which features Team Cavs, which has Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, the Team Rooks, which has Zachary Ricochet, Alex Sarr, and then Team Spurs has CP3, Victor Wembanyama, and Team Warriors has Draymond with Moses Moody. That'll also be followed up with the Dunk Contest here, which has Matas Buzelis, Stefan Castle, Andre Jackson, and of course, 2-time champion Mac McClung from the G League. And we'll also have the Starry 3-point contest. It'll feature Damian Lillard, Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, Buddy Hield, Cam Johnson, Norman Powell. So it'll be fantastic to watch these guys. And of course, the headline event we'll have Sunday, February 16th at 8 p.m. All-Star teams. We have Chuck's team, which features the global stars, Shai, of course, with Giannis, who is out. And then we have Nikola Jokic, Donovan Mitchell, Alperen Şengün, Pascal Siakam, Karl Anthony Towns, Victor Wembanyama, Trae Young on that team. We have Kenny's Young Stars, which features Jalen Brunson, Cade, Anthony Edwards, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, Jaren Jackson Jr., Evan Mobley, and J-Dub. And then we have Shaq's OGs, which is going to be facing against Team Candace, whoever is winning from the Rising All-Star team. That'll feature Jaylen Brown, Stephen Curry, Anthony Davis, who is out. Of course, we'll mention the replacements here soon. Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, Damian Lillard, and Jason Tatum.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you for filling all that in for us. That way the listeners can get onto that as well. So let's go ahead and start off with our predictions for the Rising Stars game. So if anybody wants to start off, who do you guys think is going to be the team to move on?
I think Team C's got it, coached by Chris Mullen.
Yeah,
that's my pick.
Do you like Team C? What do you like about it?
I think it's got the most talent. I know Ryan Dunn's not playing, but he's great. They got Stephon Castle, Dalton Knecht, Jalen Wells, Keontae George, Zach Edey, and Trace Jackson Davis. So they got everything there. So I really like the team. Stephon Castle's a dog. Dalton Knecht is a known scorer, and Jalen Wells is one of the favorites for Rookie of the Year. And Stephon Castle. So
fair enough.
Yeah, that's definitely the more stacked roster. I'm gonna go with Team Tim Hardaway with Kaysen kind of leading the charge. He was the first pick on that team, and even though they may not have the same talent as the team that you just mentioned, Jack, but I still like it. It's Anthony Black, Tristan Da Silva, Grady Dick, Jaime Jaquez, Zachary Ricochet, and Alex Sarr. I feel like they have a good mixture of players where there's still enough talent, and I'd love to see what Kaysen can pull off for us. So,
yeah, fair enough. Not to sound like a broken record going again with the OKC team, but I also agree. I like Team Hardaway. The thing that really stands out for me is I really like the Grady Dick and Jaime Jaquez additions. I think both those guys are having really good years. Jaime, I'm a big fan of, but Grady Dick has been very good this season. So I just like that team. Obviously, I like seeing Kaysen involved with that as well, just being kind of like Sapir said, that main pick on the team really. But I like the Grady pick, and I like Sar a lot. I've been a big Sar fan, even though obviously he's got a lot to work on. But yeah, I like that team. Joey, you're muted. Yep, you're good.
I'm gonna have to agree with that. Team Hardaway just it has a bunch of guys that not really not crazy names, but they're all in their second year and they've all kind of proven themselves. Brandon Pods, I mean Jaime Jaquez, two great role players. Grady Dick, he's really erupting. Anthony Black on there now, and then you got the top two picks in the draft for this year. So Rishair and Alex Sarr, who are really Rishair, they're both kind of starting off slow, but it looks like they have a lot of upside. So I like that team a lot.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, there we go. With that, we can move on to the skills contest. Anybody want to start with that? We can just do the same order. Jack, you want to kick us off with your skills prediction?
I think Team Spurs got it with Chris Paul and Wemby. Not much to it, but I mean, they're probably the most skilled out there, and yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, easy option.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think everyone that is watching or even on the podcast is probably consensus on that one with
Mhm.
Team Spurs.
Yep, I was obviously going to go down the same route as well. Chris Paul especially, dude's just gonna. I mean, this is made for him.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, we need something to talk about, so I guess I'll be different. You know what? I'm gonna go with Team Rooks then. They're the young guys. I think they're gonna go out there and surprise everybody. So,
I like it.
no,
Yep, spicing it up. I like it.
yeah.
yeah.
All right, let's go to the 3-point contest. Jack, what do we got here?
I think Norman Powell's going to win it because he'll be the most motivated because he just missed out on the All-Star game. I think he thought he deserved it.
Mhm.
He had a good case for it. And he's been playing really good. Great 3-point percent this year. There's some names in there like Buddy Hield, and which I just question why they're there. Like they're not really having the best shooting year, or
Mhm.
but I think Norman Powell will be, yeah.
All right, fair enough. Satbeer?
I'm gonna stick it out with Damian Lillard. Yeah, I feel like he may just start off slow a little bit, but he's had a resurgence of a year compared to last year. So yeah, I'll go with him.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna go with Darius Garland. I don't know why. I just like the pick. I could see him really catching heat and just kind of, knocking the whole contest out. At the same time, I could also see that falling flat on his face and him doing horrible. So, but I'm gonna go with him. I'm gonna write it out. I got faith.
I think it's kind of split. I think there's just few guys that have a good chance. I think the best chance is Damian Lillard. He's won two of them already. He's a seasoned veteran. He's been in the moment before. But I also think Norman Powell and Garland are not too far behind. They could surprise and they could come in there and take it. But I want Cade to win. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, why is Cade Cunningham in the 3-point contest?
That's
Okay, why
that's
is Jalen Brunson?
it's
Exactly. Like,
where is Stephen Curry?
They
Where's
just
where's
got
Isaiah
five
Joe?
guys. They're just scraping the bottom of the bucket because I'm sure not a ton of people want to
Yeah,
play in it, and they're trying to get big names so people watch it.
yeah,
Cade's shooting 35% from three right now. So
yeah.
I hope
just a
he
bit
wins
of a
now.
head scratch.
I hope he wins, Jack. We'll see this. We'll see what happens, buddy.
Oh, that's good. All right, let's move on to the dunk contest. What do you got?
I think Andre Jackson Jr. will win. He's probably the most athletic NBA player I've ever seen. Like those highlights of his head on the top of the rim, and
Yeah,
he's pretty crazy. So
yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
well, I've never really seen his contest dunks, but I think if he has some good ones, he's definitely got the bounce for it. And I'm pretty bored of Mac McClung winning again.
Yeah, fair enough.
Want to see something new.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll still stick with Mac because there's a storyline of a three-peat, and of course we just saw a three-peat lose recently with the Chiefs. So I feel like the NBA is kind of making fun of that, and having him win. Also, he's very involved in the NBA in a multitude of ways. So NBA is a lot about storyline, so I can see them kind of rigging it in his favor, even though I feel like Jackson's going to have some crazy dunks because he's probably the highest leaper of the group.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going with Matas. I like the
You don't.
Matas pick. I think he's gonna. Okay, realistically, he's not gonna win, but I really want him to. I really like it. He's gonna. I don't know, man. I can just taste the creativity. He's gonna. It's gonna be one of those like the. I don't know. It's gonna be one of those like when they blew out the candle on the cupcake type creativity. Like not great, but you're like, he gets points for trying. And I don't know. I got my toss. He's gonna pull it off. What do you got, Joey?
Man, I think Mac McClung's gonna get it. I've been thinking about it, and he's won 2 years in a row. And the more I think about it, the more I think he's Cooper DeJean of the NBA. He's gonna do it. He's gonna go out there and he's gonna get a three-peat. Our Cooper DeJean, our white boy dunking on him.
Oh man,
Mac McClung got it.
that's crazy. The Cooper regime. All right, so after that we have the biggest event, the All-Star game. Jack, what do you think is gonna happen?
In the first round, I got in the finals, I got Team Chuck versus Team Shaq, and I think Team Chuck will win. It's Shai's team, for anyone who doesn't know. So in the first round, it's Shai's team versus J-Dub's team. But Shai's got Jokic, and yeah, I mean, that team is stacked, like unbelievably stacked. Sorry, J-Dub, but
For sure.
I mean, J-Dub has a chance to prove himself at center, so we should be seeing a lot of that once they match up for that one-on-one opportunity. Loki, I think I obviously want Shai's team to win, but I think Team Shaq has the best opportunity because they'll be pretty well rested after playing Team Candace and the rising all-stars that'll make it in that spot. So I think Team Shaq's team, and they're also just more experienced. They have Steph Curry on that team as well, and it's in San Fran. So I can kind of just seeing it go their way. And it's also LeBron's kind of, later stage of his career. So that's where I'm thinking. I also wanted to mention for this game that there's a $1.8 million prize pool. So they get 125K each for winning. And we know LeBron is a stingy guy, so he does not want to let that money go.
Yeah, fair enough. You kind of said it exactly how I was going to say it, Savir. Obviously, I want Shea to win, but I am going to lean at Team Shaq. My reasoning is because when it comes to All-Star games, I just think Team Shaq has more players who tend to perform better, where like people like Jokic is not going to care. I really don't think we're going to see much out of someone like Jokic. I just don't think he's going to be trying that hard. Same with players like potentially like Trey Young. He's going to be going for big highlights, big plays, big clips and whatnot. But I think like people like LeBron, Curry, those guys, Durant, they're just pure scorers. They're going to get the ball in the hoop. Dame's going to be shooting a bunch. I mean, I just think in the end it'll end up being Team Shaq just because it's got more all-around scores. However, I do think Shea will be absolutely stellar in this All-Star game. I'm really looking forward to seeing him play.
Man, we're done with the tens, buddy. Nah, Chuck's Global Stars is gonna go over there and show them OGs, them old heads. That it's a new basketball, number one, and number two, that the United States, although I live in the United States, blah blah blah. The United States is not at the top of the basketball game anymore. The world is, and that's what that team is. And these old Americans that used to run the game are no longer, and that's why Chuck's team is gonna win.
These old Americans is crazy, Joey.
I love it.
Team
Hey, I just
USA
gotta speak the
versus
truth,
Team USA versus Team World, I guess.
pretty
No,
much.
that's crazy for sure. Any estimates on who the All-Star Game MVP will be? I mean, I
I
if
think
yeah, just kind of like go around again. So Jack, what do you think?
I think Shea can win it because he's one of two guards on his team. And obviously the better guard. I think the other guard is Donovan Mitchell. So
Mhm.
he's going to have the ball in his hand. And I mean, we know he's a bucket getter. So he's going to, especially with no defense. So, I mean,
Yeah,
if they win, he's got it easily. But Team Shaq will give them a good run for their money. So, but
yeah,
yeah, I think Shea will win it.
fair enough. Setver.
I think Steph Curry's going to win this one just because of they're going to be feeding him a lot. He's going to be locked in for this game. Um, it's just kind of a, you know, similar situation to, I guess, previous All-Star games where whoever is playing at home usually gets fed the rock the most. And if Steph Curry is getting up as many shots as I think he'll be getting up, I think he's going to be making a lot of them.
Yeah, fair enough. I like the Curry pick. Just to be different, I'm going with LeBron. I just think you kind of mentioned getting towards the last couple years of his career. I don't know. Just feel like LeBron's going to really have a good time and put on a show.
I think Karl Anthony Towns, going with the kind of wild pick here, but I think Karl Anthony Towns is gonna take this game a little more seriously than him or Victor. Now we've heard Victor, if you haven't heard the news, he was talking the other day how he's gonna be diving on balls and he's gonna bring a new All-Star game to the league and he's not gonna take it lightly whatsoever. So I think one of them two guys might be Victor because of how hard he says he wants to play. So we'll see. One of those two guys, in my opinion.
Yeah, I really hope he lives up to that for sure. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's kind of just capping off the overall All-Star weekend. Now we're going to talk a little bit about Shai's new announcement for his shoe that he will be releasing, as well as the new recently released Slam magazine cover with them. So, let's start with the shoes. What are we thinking here, everyone? What do we got?
Yeah, I guess I can start off. I think it's pretty hype that he's going to be debuting these for the All-Star game. I feel like every time he's releasing any new shoes, he's usually doing it around this time in terms of announcements. It's great that he has a collab, of course, with Slam and then also League Fit. It just feels like he's a player that's transcending on the court just as much off the court. And to see that like MVP of, having a shoe, having, leading the team and also having some of the best fits in the league. I mean, he's doing it all right now.
Yeah, for sure. We've kind of been hearing this name thrown around in terms of comparisons, but I think it's getting more accurate, and that's the Allen Iverson comparison. AI was a huge icon off the court, not just for, maybe the questionable personality stuff, but I mean, he took the way he dressed very seriously. He made big announcements like this. So I agree. He's becoming a huge social media star as well as an all-around NBA star. But as for the shoes, I think we kind of talked about this before the episode. I do hope they come out with a large array of colors, a big colorway, because I understand it's Shay's rocking with the gold. I don't adore it. I do think a different color would look much nicer. As for the actual design of the shoe, I like it. I think it looks sleek. I think it looks comfortable. I'm sure it's designed, despite people being like questioning it in terms of like usage for basketball. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that Shay cared about that. I'm not thinking it's like only caring about how they look. However, it'll be interesting. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I'm not sure how quickly I'm going to grab a pair, but at some point I would like to for sure.
I can't say I'm a fan, to be honest. I think they look good on an NBA player on an NBA court, but in terms of like basketball shoe, like as someone who plays basketball, I just really hate zips on shoes, and I feel like it can get broken really easily. I mean, if you're an NBA player and you're wearing a different one every night, then it's fine for you. But for someone who's buying a pair of shoes for like the next year, I'm not sure if it's, yeah. I was very hyped for them, but I think when the next generations come on, we talked about this without the zip, and it might look a bit cleaner and a little less
Mhm.
chunky, but
Yeah.
uh, the bottom looks really nice. So like the grip on it. So that's one thing, just
Mhm.
from a hooper's perspective, that looks really good. But I'm not a fan of the flaps and the zip.
Fair enough. Joey, what do you think?
Uh, I think I expected a little bit more, I suppose. I like the zipper personally. Hopefully, like you said, I'm sure they'll come out with more colorways. In general, I think it reminds me of the something Adidas would do, to be completely honest, kind of like the Hardens and stuff. It reminds me of that a little bit. I It's different from what Converse usually, if you know what Converse basketball shoes are, you've ever worn them, it's a lot different what they usually do. So we'll see how it works and what it's like. I'm a big fan of Converse shoes, so that's what I always used to wear and still wear when I play basketball. And we'll probably get a pair and see how they are. I'm sure I mean, I'm sure Shea had a huge part in designing them. Knowing him the way he is, he was probably all in on the design. And if knowing him, they're not just going to be for style. They're going to look good, but they're also going to play good. So we'll see how they are.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Obviously, getting them kind of debuted now, getting into the Slam magazine cover, having them debuted with the photos that they used with him having the shoes and whatnot. I mean, at this point, it kind of feels like I think we just associate Slam and the Thunder at this point. I mean, there have been so many great magazine covers this year involving the Thunder on Slam, and this one there were some really good ones in this one. Yeah, Jack's got
This
the
one, yeah, it's
amazing, yeah, the amazing cover
a
right there,
great one.
but. Yeah, no, these were some
Cool Biddy.
really, really good ones. I know specifically Jack was talking about it, the one with his back to the camera where he's got the jersey on backwards and the diamond cross. That is an incredible photo.
It's so tough.
Yeah, and just the cover as well of him sitting in the chair, like sitting back. Like that's such a good photo, man. Like just the guy is a generational talent off and on the court. It's obvious. I mean, everybody likes the dude. Like, I really feel the strong comparisons. I know I already said it, but the Allen Iverson comparisons are crazy. Like, I really feel like he's this generation's version of Allen Iverson in terms of popularity.
Yeah, he also talked about AI when he talked about this campaign
Mhm.
of how much he enjoyed him as a young player and how he uh, loved him on the court and off the court. He tried to design his style and his on the court abilities kind of after AI. Some quotes I wanted to mention from Shea directly. He said, "I poured my heart and soul into the Shea ones, and I'm proud to share it with the world. From performance to design, every aspect of the shoe reflects my passion for the game and my commitment to pushing the boundaries. We made the Shea ones a versatile shoe for everyone, from the athlete who's in the gym 3 times a day to the kids who just want to express themselves on and off the court."
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a really good message right there. That's sick. I think we can at least all agree that even if we don't all love the way it necessarily looks, it's still just awesome to even see this opportunity in a player playing for our team. I mean, it's just such a cool situation having release a shoe like this and just getting the media attention that he's been getting. So all around, just nothing to be upset about as Thunder fans. I mean, it's just awesome. It's just really cool.
Yeah, this was actually a great opportunity that Nike gave Converse in terms of Shea having full design, uh, I guess, creative control over this shoe. You can tell
Mhm.
he drew it up, stitched it together pretty much, and told them exactly what he was looking for in this one. And I hope he continues that for the next set of Converse shoes because Converse has a very specific design. But the fact that they're letting Shea have this creative control, and of course, he took over operational control as well. But it's awesome that he's actually able to design the shoes how he wants them to be.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. All right. Well, if everybody's good with that, I think we'll go ahead and end off this little kind of smaller segment, but just kind of getting ready for the weekend here. I mean, we'll cover it again, obviously, once the weekend's passed, and we'll see who the winners are of everything and kind of go back and get into it. But yeah, for sure. I mean, thank you guys for listening. Make sure you guys tune in to any other episodes as well as other content that we will be posting. And as always, we will get you guys in the next episode. No Joe here, so who wants
Thunder
to?
up,
There it is.
baby!
Yes, sir.